I'm Stephen and Frederick, and this is How I Cook. This is a repeat episode from last year of corned beef and cabbage. It's a great episode. You'll see it was filmed in our old studios. Go out and buy a corned beef and make this recipe. Happy St. Patty's Day. I hope you enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of How I Cook. I'm Stephen and Frederick. Well, it's March, and you know what that means. It's St. Patrick's Day. And St. Patrick's Day means corned beef and cabbage. So this is a corned beef brisket. There is regular brisket that has not been brined, but this is corned beef. That's what you want to get. You take it out of the packet and put it on a plate. In with the packet is a smaller packet of spices. We want to save this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some paprika and liberally coat the brisket. Now this is a small brisket because there's only two of us. It's a little over 2 pounds. If you have a family or you really like corned beef, you'll probably want to get a bigger brisket. So there, it's liberally coated with paprika. I have a cast iron skillet heating here. Let me rinse my hands, and then we're going to brown the corned beef in the skillet. Okay, so the skillet has been preheating. I'm just going to add a little oil. This is canola oil. Use your favorite oil. I would say corn oil, vegetable oil, canola oil. So the oil is starting to shimmer, which means it's preheated. Putting it in. And we'll let this go for a couple minutes. It's not going to totally cook it, but it definitely is going to add char. Char equals flavor. While the skillet's doing its job, we'll set up the crock pot. This is an easy recipe, but a long recipe. It takes 8 hours. While it's sitting, I'm opening the onion soup mix. I'm using 2 packets of the onion soup mix. See, some nice char is getting on there. So now I'm going to move the corned beef from the skillet into the crock pot. Easy as that. I'm going to turn down the fire in the skillet, but I still want some fire on there. And I'm going to pour in the 2 packets of onion soup mix. I'm stirring around the onion soup mix. And now I'm going to add some ginger ale. This is just generic ginger ale, but it's also diet ginger ale. Can you use regular ginger ale? Sure. But this is how I cook. So if I can avoid some calories, I will. So we put this in, turn the heat back up. We want to deglaze the pan, and then we're going to pour it on top of the corned beef. So we will let this come to a boil. I also have the packet of spices that came with the corned beef into the pool. All these add different levels of flavor that are going to make this corned beef some of the best corned beef you've ever had. Okay, little bubbles are starting to form. It's starting to boil. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the liquid and carefully pour it over the corned beef in the crock pot. And you can see the corned beef is submerged in the mixture. Now we're done for the next 7 hours. We put the lid on, we turn the crock pot on to high for 7 hours. And in 7 hours, I'll be back and I'll show you what we're going to be doing with the cabbage. So, time to handle the cabbage. So I washed the cabbage, just run it under cold water. And now I'm going to take a small knife and stick it in around the core. And you just do that, and there, the core came out nicely. That leaf we'll get rid of. And now we're going to cut it into some wedges. So the crock pot's still on. I did turn it down to low. It was really boiling feverishly. I'm going to put the wedges in and then turn it back up to high for 1 hour. So I'm going to take each of the wedges and put them in the liquid. Okay, welcome back. So everything's ready. The corned beef's done, the cabbage is done, but I want to make one more thing. Some people put in with the corned beef and cabbage potatoes and carrots. I don't like to do that. I think with the mixture of paprika and ginger ale, it makes everything taste like one note. But I still do like potatoes. So this is one of the rare times I use canned potatoes. These are canned new potatoes. I drained them because they come in water. And we're going to fry them up a little. So I'm going to put between a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons of butter in this pan that I already have heating. And then a little bit of olive oil. The olive oil will help the butter not to burn. So we'll let this melt. The nice thing about new potatoes that have been put in a can is they're already cooked. So we're just going to need to brown them in here. What we're going to do is we're going to brown them, and when they're towards the end of the browning, we'll then add some spices. So let's do that. So it's been around 10 minutes and the potatoes are nicely browned. I'm going to add some spices. I'm going to add a little onion powder. I turned down the heat to low. A little garlic powder. And a little pepper. I'm going to mix these up, get them coated. Smells great. And as you can see, it is really shrunk down, but this is easily enough for 2 people for 2 nights. Right, then I'm going to take out some of the cabbage. Turn off the potatoes. And put them on a platter as well. So this recipe did take a long time, but not a lot of effort. The crock pot did most of the job here, and 10 minutes browning the potatoes, which is nothing. I hope you enjoyed this episode of How I Cook. Remember, it's not the right way. It's not the way you should do it. This is how I cook. I'm Stephen and Frederick, and I hope you have a great St. Patrick's Day. See you next time.